Hello everybody, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and you're getting ready for a good new year. I have some new thoughts, new downloads that are coming through that I would like to share with you. One of them being that you can manifest anything that it is that you want to see, touch, feel, taste, have, experience, whatever it is. You want more money in your bank account, you want a new relationship, you want to feel a certain way. Logic sometimes gets in our way, which means that cause and effect, this happened, this is my story. Well, what happens if we rewrite that story? What happens if we say anything can happen, anything is possible? I have a 1-year-old and he hasn't been programmed yet with society and different traumas and different things happening in life. He's been very limited. Nobody's really told him and pushed into his little mind that this can't happen. You can't have this. This has to happen first. It takes time. All these things get in our way. If we say yes, I can have this, and we put our logic aside and we put other people's opinions aside, what actually stops us from having that? So thoughts are things, and if we continuously push what we want to see, what we want to feel, what we want to experience, if we constantly push that in our minds, if we see it in our mind's eye, if we visualize it as if it's already here, if we feel the gratitude of being thankful for this thing that hasn't happened yet, but we say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this experience, this thing, this money, whatever it is. It makes it real. It puts it in the present moment. We tell ourselves we can't have this thing. We can say, I really want this perfect relationship. And then there's this little voice that comes inside and says, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. You can't have that. You still have to work on this. Remember the last relationship you had. So all these things get in our way. I want to have a lot of money. And then this little voice comes back inside and says, well, it takes a lot of hard work to get a lot of money, and you have to get that promotion, and you don't have the right job, and the boss is never going to give you the money that you want, and you're never going to be able to have that job because your parents told you you never could, and blah, blah, blah. So the story that we tell ourselves of what's possible is the story that we end up playing out. So what do we do with this story? We rewrite it. We change it. We tell ourselves, this is the new day of my life. This is the new chapter of me. Once upon a time, and I lived happily ever after. And we just write what we want in the middle every single day. And that can change. It doesn't have to stay the same. You can say, oh, I really want an elephant in my living room. And you could say that to yourself for a little while, and then you could realize, I really don't want an elephant in my living room because that would cause some problems. And then you can change the story again to fit your actual needs. So don't be afraid of what you're asking for. Just keep asking, and then you can tweak the story as you go along. But don't stop yourself because of what your neighbor said. Don't stop yourself because of, your parents never gave you permission to be an artist or to really start that business in bead creation or whatever it is. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. And yes, you can have it all, but first you have to believe that you can have it all. And nobody can do that for you. And there's going to be a lot of steps to take in the meantime. And you just have to figure out what that is by listening to yourself. Let your heart be your compass. Let your intuition be your guide. Your intuition being that feeling that you get at the pit of your stomach that says like, oh, I shouldn't do this, or yeah, this feels really good. And logically it may not make any sense, but you want to just follow those inklings. You want to follow those feelings of I feel like the universe is pushing me in this direction, or I feel like the universe is telling me that I need to hold off. Don't question those things. Question what other people say to you. Question authority. Question your parents. If somebody doesn't have what you're looking for, why are you going to take their advice? And what you're creating maybe has never happened before, because there has never been another you in history, and there will never be another you in the future anywhere. There's only one you, and you're meant to do things that nobody else has done before. You're meant to break the cycle, to do something new, to switch it up, change it up, surprise yourself. And give yourself permission to do that. And in this new year, I encourage you to move forward with that. It is still Mercury retrograde until the first week of January. So don't be surprised if you're trying to push some projects forward and they're not making headway just yet, but it doesn't mean that all that effort isn't going anywhere. All that effort is still making traction within you. It's still writing that story, and don't give up on that. Stay true to that. Stay true to your own north, to your own compass. And eventually, whatever it is that's meant for you can never be held back from you. It will always find you. There's always going to be a way, and it might be outside of logic. It might be something that you didn't see that was coming, but it will happen. So Happy New Year, and I will continue to make new videos in this new year. That is the promise to myself. That is a part of my story, that I am going to continue to show up for you guys because I love this. I love you guys. So feel free to comment, email me at channelingwithjudah.com. Speak your truth always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.